Welcome to the Dear NICU Mama podcast. Our mission is to connect the past and the present NICU mom by bringing them out of isolation and into a sisterhood of women who can stand alongside each other as we heal and grow both in and out of the NICU.
Our hope is that through interviews with trauma-informed medical and maternal mental health experts and vulnerable stories from NICU mamas themselves, that you would feel connected to the Dear NICU Mama sisterhood around the world. So, whether your NICU journey was 50 years ago,
or whether you find yourself in the NICU today, we hope that this podcast reminds you that you are not alone.
This episode of the Dear NICU Mama podcast is sponsored in part by an educational grant from Prolacta Bioscience. By unlocking the biological power of human milk, Prolacta is changing the lives of critically ill infants around the world. To learn more, visit prolacta.com.
Hi mamas, it's Ashley here, co-host of the Dear NICU Mama podcast, and this week's episode is a little bit different and hopefully really special, but we had team members of the Dear NICU Mama team read letters out loud that they've written for us over the past few years, and we thought with the Mother's Day holiday coming up that this would be a gentle way to ease into this upcoming weekend, especially for those of you who are experiencing the duality of grief and joy. And so we just want to gently remind you that no matter how you're feeling about this holiday, no matter how you celebrate, no matter if you gather with your whole extended family or your small intimate family, just know that your heart is worthy of honor. We love you. We're so grateful for this community and this sisterhood. And we know on holidays like Mother's Day, when there can be a lot of grief wrapped up in it, that you would also see the beauty in your remarkable story. So thank you for being a part of this community and this sisterhood, and know that you are not alone this Mother's Day. You are very, very loved.
Dear NICU Mama, bravery sometimes looks like surviving, even though you've lost your footing. You never considered finding yourself asking for permission to touch your baby, but here you are. Bravery sometimes looks like putting your inner feelings aside and just waiting to open the isolate door, waiting for touch time, and waiting for the chance to give your baby a kiss in which you try to convey the endless love you have for them. Mama, bravery is speaking up and asking the nurse to prick the other foot, use a smaller lancet, or to wait a little longer with the heating pack in order to minimize the squeezing. It's dismissing the discomfort from your C-section to make sure you've made it for rounds, to discuss blood levels, progress, or test results. It may also look like moving earth and trying to connect any resource possible to make sure nothing is missed. Bravery is also crying on the shoulders offered and questioning why this is happening. Being scared is not a weakness. It can also help you find strength inside to push forward in your role as a mom. It is accepting that you cannot control the situation and this is not your fault. This one may take the longest to conquer, but you will get there. In the meantime, please take a minute to do something to refuel your tank, which will give you more strength. That may look like getting your nails done, blow drying your hair, going to Target, or simply stepping away to grab dinner with your partner. The bravery in trusting that the nurses, doctors, or those that you leave behind watching your baby will call you will feel the hardest. But self-love is so incredibly important to help you feel a little bit like yourself. You never imagine going home with medical equipment or a list of medications, but know that you got this. Educating yourself by taking a CPR class, how to use equipment, and keeping track of all the medication times shows the bravery you have to tackle anything that comes your way. Bravery looks like you, a NICU mom.
Dear NICU Mama, the seasons may change, but your heart never will. In the throes of bitter cold, when the journey through monitors, wires, and alarms seems impossible, your strength never lessened. In the sweet blooms of new beginnings and through the showers that brought them, your courage never faltered. In navigating the heat of home life, scorched by the views of doctor, after specialist, after therapist, your love never wavered. In reflecting on the realities of life's new colors and the signs of impending change, your resilience remained through it all. So, Mama, When the seasons of life won't stop changing around you, follow your heart. It will guide you through your strength, courage, love, and resilience. It's okay to feel like everything around you is in flux, but the love that you have for your baby and the guidance in your heart will always be the constant variable in the unpredictable equation of life. Love, Kristen.
Dear NICU Mama, your birth story tells the story of becoming. It's the story of shedding the version of yourself that existed before you so courageously brought your miracle into the world, and the story of stepping into the new and unexpected role of NICU Mama. It's a role you never imagined yourself playing, but one you are navigating so beautifully. You're learning new diagnoses, medical terminology, machines, and monitors, all while learning your baby and what it means to be their mother. Your birth story tells the story of your undoing and your rebuilding. Your ideas about pregnancy, birth, golden hours, perfect newborn photo shoots, and your first days connecting with your baby have all been undone. But through the pain and undoing, you are rebuilding something sacred. You are becoming more intentional with the way you connect and love. You are becoming a mother who celebrates every tiny victory for your baby and for yourself. You are rebuilding your world that you watched crumble, and you are rebuilding it with a strength you didn't realize was in you. And as you are rebuilding, you are stepping into the version of yourself that you were meant to be. Because after all, Mama, you were meant to be your baby's mother, and there is no one better suited for this role. Your birth story tells the story of the most beautiful and profound metamorphosis. Be proud of who you've become, Mama. Love, Carrie.
Dear NICU Mama, I see how much courage it took to do the unimaginable. No one could have possibly prepared you, but I saw you standing there with your heart in your throat, nodding through the tears swelling in your eyes as someone did their very best to make sense of something so unnatural. This wasn't the ending you desired, Mama. This is not how it was designed. But it happened, and you were so incredibly brave. You did what mothers do best. You loved through the biggest heartache. And although it may look very different, you will always love and cherish your baby. And Mama, you are so strong. I saw you taking care of every detail as the amazing mother that you are. I want you to know that. Feel it in your bones. You are an amazing mother. I see you advocating for your little one even now as you share your loss. There is no rule book on how to do what you are doing, but you are doing it gracefully. There is no way to know what each day will bring, but I see you trying your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. Dear NICU Mama, I see you making beautiful things from the brokenness, and that takes courage. You are honoring your baby well. Take rest in the love that you have for your baby. It will never, ever be broken.
Happy Mother's Day, beautiful NICU Mama. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Dear NICU Mama podcast.
If you loved this episode, we'd be so grateful for a review on any of the podcast platforms.
And we'd love to continue connecting with you via our social media pages or a private Facebook group. And ultimately, NICU Mama, welcome to the sisterhood.